Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you can hear that noise in the background, my dogs are scrounging the end of the food out of their bowls because they're absolute savages. You might be wondering why I look like this. Like, maybe you don't even notice, but I am slightly more dolled up than usual. And that is because I'm starting this vlog a day early so I can sleep tomorrow. My lesson is on early... Oh, this is a lesson vlog, by the way. I have a show jumping lesson tomorrow with Killian Brown in Sceilig. He's doing lessons this week and the following week, and I think the following week they're actually having an equestrian car boot sale as well, which should be pretty interesting. But I want to vlog it, but I don't really want to get up early in the morning to spend like 20 minutes doing, getting the camera ready and introing, and I just thought I'd save myself a bit of time in the morning by starting the vlog now, just in case I end up rushing or anything tomorrow and I don't have time, which is like what happened with my show vlog, which would have been the last vlog you saw. Anyway, so I have a jumping lesson tomorrow. I haven't had a lesson with Killian before, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to get some coaching in with someone new. And the fact that there was a couple of weeks on that I could do when I'm off, I thought it was a good way to start things off before I go to a show. I'm hoping to do some shows in Sceilig this year, like in the next couple of months, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to very sneakily get him in there to see the fences and the arena and everything, so his mind isn't completely blown when we go down there for our first show. Now, I haven't jumped him much recently at all. I've been working on our flat work, building up his top line, steadying him down, blah, blah, blah. So I decided, a couple of days ago, I better give him a jump just to see how he is, so he's not like really thrown in at the deep end tomorrow. And he was nuts. He was really he was doing really big jumps over tiny fences and then trying to stick his head between his legs and bronc. And he was just loving life. So I'm probably going to mortify myself tomorrow. I'm a bit nervous now because I'm like, what's he going to be like? But anyway, I am excited as well. I am looking forward to it. So Caroline is going to come and film for me. I've got backup batteries for her. So we don't have the incident last time where right at the end when I started doing some kind of bigger fences, the camera ran out of battery. So anyway, that's what's happening tomorrow, and I'm going to vlog it for you, and hopefully it will be a good day out and you'll be able to see the progress between like this week's lesson and next week's lesson. And yeah, hopefully anyway, I hope it goes well. So I will see you in the morning, but I just thought I'd do the intro now and get all that done. And yeah, I actually haven't ridden him this evening yet, so I'm going up to do that now, try and tire him out a little bit.
Alrighty, let's do a little voiceover here. I'm going to dip in and out throughout this and leave in the bits where you can hear what Killian is saying to me, because the audio is actually really good on these videos. It wasn't very windy. It was a nice morning, which was surprising. Very cold, but a nice morning. So in these clips, we are just warming up. We did do like plenty of trotting around on each rein as well, and he did lots of spooking at the signs, and there was some bars at the side of the arena, and it's just a new venue. He hasn't been here before. But Killian was just reminding me to keep trotting around, try and get my inside bend so he's focused more on me than what's on the outside of the arena, and just ignore him, ignore all the messing, and just drive on, see how we go. You can see like in clips like this, he was just trying to, you can't really see it, but he's trying to pull me forward out of the saddle and just do what he wants to do. Like he just wanted to canter around, and you'll see this as a theme throughout. When I don't leave him just canter around, he, like when I ask him to come back to trot, he just gets slower and slower and slower in canter until he's like a spring ready to just explode, and he then will have a strop. You'll see it comes up a bit, but yeah, just having a canter around here now. He was like slightly more settled at this point, but I was still kind of having to argue with him a little bit just to get him to come back to me and not run around the arena flat out speed. But we do put in some poles here, and he does come back to me a lot more. So this is just 2 trot poles. They're 5 strides apart in canter. Or 2 poles, did I say trot poles? 2 poles. They're 5 strides apart, and we trotted down through them a few times, and then we started cantering, and we were just trying to regulate the speed and get a nice rhythm to come down in 5 strides. So yeah, I think you can hear Killian a little bit here, so I'll leave in some of this audio.
Straightness in his head and neck is very important here, yeah? Just drop that in there, a bit of flexion to the inside. Good. Relax. Top down. Relax.
Okay, so here we were working on 2 poles on a bending line, and Killian was just explaining to us how there's 3 lines you can take over this pole. There's your, your direct line down the middle, and then an inside line and an outside line. And you need to know as you're coming on the approach which line you want to take to suit your horse's stride, or like how they're feeling in that moment. So on this one, I actually got 6 strides, but it was a really nice 6 strides. And he changed leg and everything, so I was happy with that. I didn't mind that it was 6 strides. But in order to get the 5, I knew if I was going to be in that rhythm, then I needed to take a more inside line the next time. And so that's just kind of what we were working on here with this. This was where we started on the jumping exercise, and I did not know what to expect, to be honest, because a lot of the time in a new place, when you come down to the first fence, you can see he was quite game, he wanted to go, but a lot of the time he can actually really back off the first fence and stop just for the first one. So I was really happy with how brave he was through this. There's a lot of poles, a lot of things for him to think about. There was a plank at the end, and I was really happy with the fact that he just popped down through the line. So I came to it in trot quite a bit at the start, where other people were coming in canter, just because I knew that it suited him better and he needed to relax and trot and, not kind of race down through it, because that's obviously an issue that we have. And we worked up then to doing it in canter.
Halt after once or twice, huh?
So Killian did tell me there just to halt him when I'd gone through the line before I turned the corner a few times, because he was kind of tanking off on me after the fence. Like afterwards, he would just drag me around the corner and just race. So we were making him come back to halt. I don't know if Caroline got it on video, but he was not very impressed with it at the start. No, she did not. But yeah, he was kind of just like really dramatically stopping and throwing out a fuss, a temper tantrum, basically, that he couldn't do what he wanted to. You can see it more clearly here. He just has a little bit of a moment. He's like, oh, I don't want to do this. But then as soon as he stands nice and quiet, I make sure to give him a pat and reward him and let him know, that's what I wanted. I wanted him to come back to me and listen. So you can see now at this point we've started introducing the fence on the left. So we're doing a left turn, and it's 5 strides in the middle the whole time. But I here checked him, and that was not the reaction I would normally get. So normally he just kind of would ignore me, and I'd have to take the really dramatic pull. He's having a moment here. But I would have to take the dramatic pull. But because I'd been halting at the end of the other line, he was actually listening to me a lot more. So we realized then, like, I needed to change the way I was riding, because he had changed the way he was reacting. So I had to change and be softer with my hands and trust him to go on the more forward line in between the fences. So here then he was a bit stuck in his canter, so I was just trying to open him up. So like I put my hands really far forward so he knew I wasn't holding on his mouth, and just really pushed him forward because he was stuck in a really sticky canter. So I just was trying to get him a little bit more forward. I did go a little bit too quickly then through the bounce, but I was much happier with the 5 strides that I got then between the 2 fences. So here we are doing the same thing, but with the fence on the right. And then you'll see we will start to incorporate the 3 of them together. But here I'm really concentrating on not stifling the canter, and then just trying to sit nice and tall and not really fold over the bounces, just sit up nice and tall and keep him together, which is what I was working on. I think we really got it towards the end. I take absolutely no notice of him knocking these little bounces and things. It doesn't bother me. And we went back down the middle there again, and it was gone up to an ox at this time, just a couple of times before we put the whole thing together. so at this point we were going to start stringing the three of them together, but I get a really lovely feeling through the bounce. And then just here, I should have left him move on for the 5 strides, but I overchecked him and we did it in 6. So Killian told me to stop and start again and just come on a slightly more inside line to get my 5 strides, but just leave him flow on down through it. So I was riding the bounces quite well with him at this point, and I was getting a nice feeling from him through them. You know, he felt nice and compact, but then I was just still riding him as if he was going the same way he was at the beginning. So you see here, I left him flow on, and he did it in a lovely 5 strides, and it was much, much nicer. There was just a much better flow to it. We are putting the whole exercise together with all 3 parts at the moment, but I just skipped the footage where I am literally cantering around the edge of the arena because there's no point in showing you that. I did get 6 there as well instead of 5, which was a little bit annoying of me because I just still am fully trusting him to leave him move on. But just because I'm so used to him rushing off with me almost to the point of being dangerous between the fences, so this was a very welcome change, and I need to work very hard to keep this now and teach him that this is the right way of going.
Landing. Focus on the fence earlier, okay? Going to the left, he went too far out to the right. So keep him sensor, don't let him wander. Oh, Niall. Top job. Very good.
Groom Caroline is walking George around to cool him off. Look, you make him look like he's about 17 too.
He is about 17.
No, he's not. He's 16 hands.
He's not 16 hands. Sorry.
He's 16-1.
No,
He's 16-1. We're all done in our lesson. He was so good. Don't step him. He's like, I want to go in now. He's trying to run Caroline over. Look, here he is. The best boy. He was really good. It was a really good lesson. We both learnt a lot. I really need to look at him. He's posing. I really need to sit up more. Like, I really need to sit up more and balance him, and then I need to trust him when I get him in the right canter. But yeah, I'll give you more of a debrief in a minute, but I'm going to untack him and get him loaded up because he decided he did not want to load today, and I had to coax him into the box, which is a new thing. Normally he loads perfectly, so I'm hoping to God that he will load like his normal self now. Yeah, good goose. He loaded, so I gave him a little bit of food just as a reward for coming in, because we do not want to start having loading issues. Do we, George? No. Just got to put all my tack and stuff away now, and then head home to do Keelan's horses. You were so good, weren't you? He was really, really fresh at the start. Like, he was a bit loopy, wasn't he? He was a bit crazy, but he did calm down. And he just said, like, be very firm with him about like what I want him to do. He's not doing what he wants to do. And then we did a really good exercise where I haven't done it with him before. I've done it with other horses. Like, you can change the direction. You can either go straight down the middle or left or right. Are you bringing Piggy in?
I was only going to find you.
Hey! Hello!
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you could either go straight down the middle or left or right, so you could change it up so that they didn't really know kind of where they were going, and it helped with him rushing. But yeah, he was really good through the bounce by the end of it. When he started to settle, I just had to get used to leaving him travel on then after the bounces, but I was so used to having to, like, usually when I want to slow him down I have to give him such a firm pull, and I did that once through the distance, and he literally nearly came to, I think he came to a halt in the middle because he was actually listening to me so much. So that's kind of what we want to have him at, like, where he's listening to me, yeah, and then we can just work our way down the distances. But I was really happy with him. He was really scopy over some of them. The angle of the video is probably hard to see because, like, where the viewing area was kind of in the opposite direction to the direction we were jumping. Sorry, I lift that up for you, Your Highness. Yeah, it was kind of in the opposite direction to the way we were jumping, so if you were like on the other end, you would have seen him over the oxer at the end, and he was really nice over that a few times. But we'll be back next week, and I think he said we're going to kind of do a little course, which would be good for him, good progression before he starts going to some shows. My little driving companion, Pickle. Say hello to everyone. No, not to me. To everyone else. Look. Oh, hello. You're so cute. Okay, we're going home now. I haven't really vlogged much today. I didn't vlog anything before my lesson, I don't think. But like I said, very good. It was in Sceilig, if I didn't mention that already, in Watergrass Hill. I'm going to go home now and get some food because I'm starving, and then go do Keelan's horses. Yay. I'm getting quite proud of my reversing skills, to be honest. Reversed in here with no one directing me. I never have anyone when I get back to the yard and I'm reversing in, so I've just had to learn how to do it myself. It looks a bit awkward, but I get it done. I turned George out for a while when I came back, and you can see him up there carefully scrutinising my reversing skills. Hello, my handsome man. We're just done I'm just done all of my yard jobs, so I've got his hay nets done and his feed sorted and his bed is all nice and clean and ready for him. And he was out for a little while, for like an hour in the sand arena because he can't go out in the field. And now he's going to come in and stuff his face. I'm so happy with him. He was so good. You were. Yes, you were, my little llama. Yeah, he was really good. I was honestly... He surprises me every time I go out. I expect him to be a brat. Like, he had his moments, but nothing major. Just babiness, greenness, freshness. Yeah, really happy with him. I gotta go do Keelan's horses now, so I might as well bring you along to do that. So I did plan on bringing you to Keelan's with me, but it is lashing rain, so I literally just ran out the car, did all the jobs and came back. What are you doing? Give me kisses. But yeah, that is the end of this vlog. Hopefully I will have done a voiceover on a good bit of the lesson clips, so you kind of know what's going on and what we were working on and things. But I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm having another lesson next Saturday, so I will definitely record that one for you guys as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning.